Hello, Magnus here, bringing you another video. Today we are doing TSTO Battle of the Best Events. We are continuing this series. So today we are doing the second match of round 4, and this is going to be the Springfield Jobs versus Homerpalooza. So a couple of weeks ago, I guess, Superheroes was beaten by Springfield Jobs, and I was not very happy. You guys probably saw. I was a very angry boy. I was not happy that Superheroes was knocked out. So I'm hoping today, this is my prayer, that Springfield Jobs loses. But I'll try my best not to be biased. Homerpalooza is, of course, also, it's had a fairly long run. Same thing here. Obviously, Springfield Jobs beat Black History, then it beat Superheroes, and now it's here. Homerpalooza beat Treehouse of Horror XX VIII, and then it beat Treehouse of Horror XXXX, sorry, 3 X's, 30. And now it's here, so it doesn't have to verse any more Treehouse of Horror updates. So let's report the scores and pull up that little thing, the tally. And today, let's just get into it. So you guys probably know the 5-point system. If you don't know it, why are you watching this video and not the start of the series? So today we are going to be versing Springfield Jobs against Homerpalooza. So start off, let's just jump into it with the structure and theme. So starting with the oldest of the events, Homerpalooza, the structure and theme was quite simple. So you got your simple 3-act structure, your crafting, you had the sending the different music people to the different stages, because obviously they split the acts up into hip hop. What was it? Hip hop, pop, and rock, was it? Oh god. Yeah, hip hop, pop, and rock. So that was a cool little way of sort of tying the theme together and adding a bit of structure to the theme. The theme is, of course, music. And you also had the Weird Al Yankovic little tasks as well, where you could earn some extra things. Lots of cool interaction in this one. You guys get the gist. You level up characters. I've gone through it before, so I don't really want to repeat myself too heavy. And then we have Springfield Jobs. So Springfield Jobs, its theme is kind of weird. So it's sort of like a around the world event, but at the same time, it's also this sort of heist event. So we have a lot of characters, sort of criminal characters, but as well a lot of like around the world characters. I do think that some of the stuff that they tied in was a little loose, but I think they did a good job connecting it with the quest line, so I give it a little bit of a pass. Obviously, 3-act structure, crafting, all that good jazz, and you also had the little clips as well, so you had to send characters to do certain tasks, and eventually you earned these little clips as well that you could watch in your Museum of Fine Arts. I think it was in that one. Yeah, the Museum of Super Fine Arts. So yeah, lots of interaction in this one too. So which one do I give the theme? Which one do I give the point to for structure and theme? So I hate this a little bit, but because my issue is they both have an engaging sort of theme and structure. But if I'm going to go off my memory, which one I enjoyed more, I'm going to go with Homerpalooza. And so I'm going to give the point to Homerpalooza. Only reason why is because I just think that the theme is a lot more exciting and it's a lot more sort of solid, if you know what I mean. So the theme is like, it's there, it's all there, and everything they tie in together makes sense. Whereas with Springfield Jobs, it is a bit loose. There is this sort of around the world heist, and I'm not trying to say they can't do something where they kind of pull things from different episodes, but I'm always going to prefer an episode or an update that has a stronger theme that reflects on, certain episodes. And so, I don't know, I think Homerpalooza is the better of the theme, and I think structure-wise they are on similar paths, because they had the same structure pretty much, apart from like a few extra things, like, Homerpalooza had like the whole level up thing and sending people to do the stage performances. Like, I probably take that over the little clips we got in Springfield Jobs. Yeah, so I probably would say with Homerpalooza, and plus the Weird Al tasks. I don't really love those Weird Al tasks, but I think they're something that elevate it a little bit more. So let's move on to characters. Starting with Homerpalooza. So we have, for a starter, Weird Al Yankovic. So I'm going to give Weird Al, I'm going to give him 4 out of 10. Now, normally I wouldn't give, you know, a sort of, because he is like a nothing character in the sense that he doesn't really do much of the show, but he is a real life person. And that's not the main reason. The main reason why I'm giving him an extra point is he kind of led the event, and also he had that whole sort of thing where he had his little quest where you could earn some stuff. And most of it was just cash and animations and things. None of it was that great, but I still appreciated it. I don't think he's amazing enough to give 5 points, but I think 4 is definitely fair. Then we have all the Sunglazers. I think the Sunglazers get a point for every 2 of them. So for Nick Delacour and Peter de Bruzzo, whatever, they just get 1 point for both of them. Alaska, Nebraska, I'm going to give her 2 points. I think she's okay, nothing amazing. Spotlight Dance Bot, I know it's from Lisa Goes Gaga, but it gets 1 point. I think it's kind of cool. LT Smash, going to give him 3. I like him a lot, can't lie. Then we have the other Sunglazers, so Freddie Freeman and Shredder Stevens. Again, just 1 point for them, for both of them. Leon Kapowski, I think I'm going to give him 3. He was a little chucked in, but I think he's sort of one of those characters where I was fine with that. And to be fair, I enjoyed... He made sense. He wasn't just like, you know, chucked in there for no reason. He has the whole pop aspect. So it ties in a little, you know, loosely, but, you know, he's a pop singer, so Michael Jackson's, you know. So I think that it works out. Alcatraz, I'd say he's 2. He's nothing amazing. And then Bleeding Gums Murphy, and I hate to do this, but when they first added him, I wasn't that amazed, and he was just thrown in the store, and it was so underwhelming. And for that reason, I'm only going to give 2 points to him. I'm not going to give more. Now, I know the character itself is like a big character, and this was a character that I wanted in the game for a long time before they did this. So maybe it's just because I was praying for him for so long, and when he was included, it was just kind of like, there you go, he's in the store. And he didn't even tie in as well. Like, he's a jazz singer, so he doesn't tie into the pop rock and hip hop. He doesn't tie into either of these genres, whereas all the other characters do tie in. You know, you have the Sunglazers, they tie into rock. You have like LT Smash, he ties into pop. Alaska Nebraska ties into pop. And even Weird Al, I mean, I know he's like kind of like a parody, but he does like parody stuff, so he sort of, I guess, kind of goes over everything, to be honest. And Bleeding Gums Murphy's a jazz singer, so it was like, he didn't need to actually be even added in this update. I would have been far happier if they just left him and added him in a later update and kind of gave us a better update for him. Like, give him an entire mini update. Why throw him in just randomly into this update where he didn't really massively fit? I mean, apart from being a musician, he didn't really fit that well, and that's why I just found his inclusion really underwhelming. And that's also why I really love All This Jazz. I know a lot of people don't like it that much, but the reason why I like the All This Jazz update, the mini update they did a few months, well, I guess a year ago now, is because they actually sort of gave him his own update, whereas before he didn't really have one. Anyway, Rachel Jordan, I just give 2 points to. She is obviously, she goes with the praise land, but yeah, I think she's cool enough. Then we got 2 costumes. Rapping Bart, I like that one. 2 points. Manager Cletus, I'll give 1 point, to be honest. Actually, no, I'll give 2 points. I think he's okay. Rockin' Otto, I'm not going to go for 0.2. Just no point for Rockin' Otto, because I don't really think it's a great costume. So that concludes the Homerpalooza, and we have a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. So 26 points. Moving on, we have Springfield Jobs. So it has a lot of characters, but can it beat 26 points? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So to start off, we have Aristotle. I can't say his surname. I think Aristotle is a solid 2 points. I know he kind of leads the event. I always found him like a bit underwhelming though. Like, yeah, he leads the event, I think, but he's not like a character I think led the event amazingly. Like with Norbert Van Houten, he has that whole sort of his own little quest line, and so does Weird Al, whereas Aristotle doesn't have that. He kind of leads the event, but at the same time, he's a bit like, you know, meh. Like, He's just in the quest line, and you send him to do things. He doesn't have anything unique like Norbert and Weird Al. So, yeah, I think Aristotle is just 2 points for me. Primo, or Primo, however you say it, I'll give him 1 point. He's nothing great. Nana Sofa Mussolini, I think, is definitely 3 points. Fit Tony, I think, is also 3 points. The Pope, I think, is 2, if I'm being very generous. Dante Calabrese Jr. and Senior, look, they're a bit nothing burger, and I think they would have been fine as a 2 and 1. So I'm just going to give 1 point for both of them. I don't think they are worth a point each, and I don't think they're worth anything more than that, really, personally. Wheels McGarth, I think he's a solid 2. 2 points, I think that's fair. And then we have Guy Incognito. Look, I love Guy Incognito, but I can only give him 3. And that's me being very generous. So I'll give him 3 points. The 2 Ghosts, I think they get just 1 point between both of them. And Jack the Ripper, I think he just gets 1.2. As cool as he is, like, cool as he is to get Jack the Ripper, if the tapped out for The Simpsons, he's a nothing character. So, yeah. Then we have Nigel. 1 point. Arthur Fortune, I think he gets... I'm going to give him 3. I like him a lot. Svengoli, though, he does not get a point. And then we have Fernando Vidal. I'll give him 2. Mexican Duffman. Actually, yeah. No, I'll give Fernando Vidal 1 point because he wasn't that amazing. Mexican Duffman, I'll give 2 points though. I think he's actually amazing. Although he's a little bit expensive. Yeah, I don't care. I'll let it slide. And then we have Raul. Raul, I think he's like a 1 point character. So, yeah. So, okay, so, do you want to know the truth? That's just happened. What's just happened is we've got a tie. So, both updates scored 26 points. And for that reason, I have to now break the tie of just from the selection of characters, which do I enjoy more? I knew something like this would happen, you know. 26 points each. I have to break the character point tie. And so the update I'm going to go with... I'm a bit biased here. This is why I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to give it to Homerpalooza. I think the characters in Homerpalooza are just far better. Like LT Smash, Leon Kompowski, Bleeding Gums Murphy, even though I know I complained about his inclusion, I still like that character. Even like Alaska, Nebraska, and like Weird Al, like these are just like far better characters than most of the ones we get in Springfield Jobs. Don't get me wrong, there are some great ones in Springfield Jobs. Like I think Mexican Duffman, he's a real standout for me. Fit Tony's a great character. Nana Sophie Mussolini. There are a lot of awesome characters in this, and it's tricky because I'm trying to like balance it out for the whole point system I'm doing is trying to balance it out. But I guess that kind of concludes really that Homerpalooza and Springfield Jobs have a fairly similar quality of characters when you adjust for quantity. So like if you adjust the quantity to the quality and you kind of have the average score, I guess like the total score in this regards, I guess technically they have equal characters. But I'm going to give the point to Homerpalooza. I just think there's a better quality of characters there. So let's move on to buildings. So we'll start with Homerpalooza. So we've got the Rock Stage, doesn't get a point. Quickie Merch, I'll give 1.2 because I'm nice. The Sun Glazer Studio, I think that's 2. It's a pretty solid building. The Pop Stage doesn't get a point. The Hip Hop Stage doesn't get a point. I don't give points to stages. The All Sales Vinyl, I think that gets 1 point. Jazzy Good Times, I'll give another 1 to. Snub Club, sure. Quitters, sure. Golden World Records, Gold Records on the Walls, sure. Classified Records, I'll give a point to. New Bedlam Rest Home, yeah. Alcatraz's Mansion, I'll give 1. See, here's the thing, right? The Jazz Hole, I love the Jazz Hole, so I'm going to give 2. Solomon's Temple, yeah. And the Rockin' Arc, yeah. I know that they were both added in the bundle, but I think they stand on their own. I think they are 2 really cool sort of rides that you can have in the Praise Land, so I don't really care. And then finally, we have a building skin. Flaming Moe's, that also gets its own point. So in total, that concludes Homerpalooza has got a total of 16. Alright, let's move on. So for Springfield jobs, let's start off with the top one. So we have Plunderer's Pete's, that gets a point. Museum of Superfine Arts, I find it a little awkward to decorate, but I think I'll give it a point. Old Cathedral, sure. Tower of Springfield, sure. The Moho House, sure. Monty Burns Resort Casino, sure. Smooches on the Beach, sure. Nag and Weasel gets a point. Fortune Megastore gets 2 because I love that building. And then the Master Hypnotist Tent doesn't get a point. Leaning Tower gets a point. Coliseum gets a point. St. Paul's Ballistica gets a point. The Resort Hotel gets a point. The Island's Capitol building gets a point. The First Class Lounge gets a point. And then we have the Boiled Potato gets a point. St. Paul's Cathedral gets a point. The Buckingham Palace gets a point. Westminster Abbey gets a point. Scotland Yard gets a point. These are all great buildings. Derby O'Guzlin's gets a point. The Las Vegas, the Dollar Casino gets a point. Is there any more? There's a few more. Doesn't really matter though, because we can conclude the winner is obviously Springfield Jobs. Look, say what you will about Springfield Jobs. Some people say it's overrated. Some people say it's not that great. It's got a fuck ton of buildings, and they are all really nice looking buildings. So I think this update is one of the strongest on buildings. So it's hard to really fault it too much. I think whatever update this goes up against, it's beating it on buildings regardless, because they all look so nice as well. Most of them are awesome, because a lot of them are like landmarks, and I love getting landmarks in the game. But even the non-landmarks are just really cool. Most of them are anyway. There's a few stinkers in there, don't get me wrong, but most of them are amazing. So we're moving on to decorations. So first of all, we have starting with Homerpalooza, we have the festival fence. So the festival fence I'm going to give 2 points to, because I think it's a very useful decoration. The pig balloon, I'm going to go with 1. I think it's cool enough. The rock camp Fred shed, that gets 1. The stage turret gets 1. The pop star plane, not gonna lie, it's stupid. I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna give it a point. The Cletus's monster truck gets 1. The Duff fence × 4 and the Buzz Cola fence. So for the Duff fence and the Buzz Cola fence, I'm just gonna give them 1 extra point, because it gives a bit more variety to the fences, to the festival fences. And for that, I really like that idea, because this is the thing, right? I like the walls in the game. And I also like the graffiti walls that we have in the game, because you can put a bit of variety in there. The floor speaker, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a great decoration, so I'm gonna just give 1 point for this, the laser light and the smoke machine. I think they all just deserve 1 as a group. The skylight though, I'm gonna give that 2, because I actually have used that quite a bit. The Duff tent and the Buzz Cola tent, I think they're cool enough that I'm going to give them a point each. The cheering crowd doesn't get a point. The rock and roll car gets 1. The rude crowd does not get a point. The concert lights get 1 point. The speaker stack, yeah, sure, I'll give it a point. The rock camp entrance gets a point. The bling cup gets a point. The blasting bass, bit of a silly decoration. I'm not going to give it 1. The rock neon sign gets a point. The State Sun and Glazer tour bus gets a point. The Praiseland gate gets 1 point. But I'm going to give the Praiseland wall 2, because I actually really like that Praiseland wall. And then the Forbidden Tree, 1 point. So that means the Homerpalooza ends with a total of 23. Okay, so let's move on to our Springfield Jobs update, and we'll see what they gave us. Let's have a look. So starting off, we have all the terrace houses. So the terraced houses and the canal houses. So I'm just going to say I love these. I really do. They are a bit similar, and I think it would be very fair to just give them every single one of them, 5 points. I think that's maybe a bit generous, but I think that's fair. The gondola gets a point. The Da Vinci aircraft, I'm not going to give this one a point. I think it's a bit, I don't know what to do with it. The cheese truck gets a point. The Pompeii ruins definitely get 1 point. Or 2 points. Yeah, I'll give them 2 points to make up for the Da Vinci aircraft. Then we have United Kingdom stuff. So we have the life-size Prince Albert in a can. I'm not going to give that one a point. Queen's carriage gets a point. The phone box gets 1 point. The police call box gets 1 point. The guards, I think I'll probably give... I'm not going to give a point for the guards. The roundabout I actually love a lot. I'll just give it 1 though. I don't know if I can give it 2. The giant Ferris wheel, or the London Eye, whatever you want to call it, gets... I think that gets 1. It's a little tricky to decorate. Like, it's not... It just looks a bit dumb when it's in the game. The first bank of Springfield ATM... Sure, I'll give it 1. The race car statue, 1. And the fancy oval fountain, I think that gets 1.2. The first Prime Minister of Australia statue, that gets a point for sure. And is that it? Is there not more? Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, in that case, the winner is Homerpalooza. Oh, I swear there was way more decorations than Springfield Jobs. So yeah, okay. Homerpalooza's the winner. So Springfield Jobs finished with a total of 18, and unfortunately, it has lost. Huh, that was easier than I thought. I thought Springfield Jobs was going to take that. Maybe I was a little biased there, but to be fair, I think I was as fair as I could. I think the issue is like the characters are like so... They're good, but they're not amazing. They're all quite meh. A lot of the characters in Springfield Jobs are meh. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I think even if we gave the character point to Springfield Jobs, Homerpalooza still would have won the decorations point, and in terms of the overall feel, it also would have won that point as well. I loved the Homerpalooza event, so even if I gave the... Like I said, even if I gave the character point to Springfield Jobs, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have lost anyway. So, we'll submit the score. So, Homerpalooza goes to the semi-finales. That is awesome. So, Tap Ball versus Homerpalooza, battling it out so one of them can get to the finale, the finals. Oh, that's going to be such an interesting event. Two kings for sure, and we'll have to see which one goes into here and which one goes into here. So next week we are doing Mozart versus the Secret Agents. Only one of them can make it through, and then we got finally Burns Casino versus Destination Springfield, and then we'll be wrapping this thing up. So yeah, this is interesting. These are our two kings. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.